Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. From up top next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, folks, we were already excited for this game. And then before the contest, you and I are down on the field outside the white lines.
Yes, we were following the rules.
We were following the rules, and a ball comes over our direction, but we can't see it. Somebody yells heads up, and instinctively you turn around and you snare it one-handed with your off left hand. So now we're really ready for football.
No gloves either.
No gloves.
No gloves. Not like what the guys are wearing playing the game now. But wasn't that a whole lot better than that time we were down there? And I got the coffee spilled on me when I got nailed by the punt returner.
That happened to the Vikings, right?
Yes, a much better job of being heads up this time. Thank you for the notice.
Here's Randy Bullock now to put toe to leather. And we are underway from Cincinnati. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by Gardner Minshew, sixth-round selection in 2019 out of Washington State.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
Throwing on first down is Minshew. This is Jeff Swaim, the tight end. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. So the same tandem connecting on back-to-back throws to start the game.
And maybe throwing the scouting report off just a little bit. That's not exactly what they think is going to be their number one receiver, but he's producing already early in this game.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Ready?
First carry for Raquel Armstead. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Minshew throwing on 3rd down. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked by Nick Vigil. Keelan Cole, the intended target. Time will tell if that's an interception that rattles the rookie here. First drive on the road.
And you know the discussion going into the game centered on, okay, let's get out nice and easy, take care of the football, we're on the road. You're a youngster, Let's not make mistakes early. But now the conversation will shift to, okay, put it behind you, move on. Long way to go in this one.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Check nine.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Got a man open. It's Ross. That's good for 28 yards. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Jet sweep. Boyd with it. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
Right there, 56. Switch up.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Hands up. Lead. 50 seconds to Mike. Watch the run. Hands up.
Jet sweep. Boyd with it. And he stopped immediately there. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
I got you.
And now to the air. Dalton throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. DJ Hayden right there on the coverage.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Bullock will put this one through, and the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook, and it's 3rd and short. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Joe Mixon. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. But just like you said, they've got the lead, don't do anything silly, run the football, and that's what they did.
They would have liked to have created a little more room for their punter, but he'll take what they gave him, and he'll go out there now and try and get the ball off and help his defense.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Gets through, and now an opening. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive complete over the middle. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Minshew sets to throw into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swain. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
When you play against Carlos Dunlop, you have to think protecting your passer. He knows how to get upfield and rush the quarterback.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. On 2nd down, Armstead. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets them up 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Let's go, 18 Gators.
Let's go, D. Gonna be a long day on
Defense.
Out of the gun is Minshew. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. DJ Chark the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Two incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Here's Minshew. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on 4th down, Jags kicker Josh Lambo comes on. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Lambo is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Getting the sense Charles are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Open man is Ross, complete. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you
think.
mean by that, Bert?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try to pass on 4th down. Dalton. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Beginning the drive here with Armstead. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Minshew. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here we go. Kill.
Going with Armstead, a 1st down carry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Hand it over. Yo, 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 yo. Yo. Fire.
On 2nd and 11 now. Minshew, complete to his tight end, set the valve. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll try to throw for it with Minshew. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. This is Josh Lambo. He hit from 57 a year ago. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambo to kick this one off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
50. Let's go, D.
1st and 10 for Dalton. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Over 30 yards there. And 1st downs on 3 consecutive plays now.
That's a real nice job right there. Working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Mixon running right. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss.
Hands up. Lead. 56. Watch the screen. Pass. Hands up.
A draw play. Bernard. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
56. In the face.
.6-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. Now, Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Dalton here from the gun. And that is incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
39-yard attempt.
Bullock's kick is good, and it will tie things up at 6-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. This is Armstead on the carry. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
50, play. 59. Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
From the 38, Minshew. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A gain there of 30 big ones.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Looking to throw it, Minshew. And now another one thrown incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. All right, let's focus now on Giovanni Bernard. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop. No luck whatsoever there on the draw.
Yeah, they're supposed to use their aggressiveness against them. That was the hope. But maybe they had too big of a meal last night. A half step slow, and he ends up running right into the meat of the defense.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. After the penalty, it's Mixon. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15. And the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Dalton. And that will be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Kevin Huber now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So the search for that patience here now.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Kill.
On first down, again, they go with Armstead. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, they go with Armstead. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Trying to pick it up with Armstead. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll go play action here with Minshew. The open man is Westbrook. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, 1st down.
Come on, set. 60 or. It's been a long day for you.
Minshew, 1st and 10. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. A 14-yard 1st down pickup for the Jaguars.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Set. 30 base. Lost the pass.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Open is Swaim, the tight end. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Now Minshew. And that is incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. And Lambeau will put this one through, and they double their lead, pushing it up now to 12-6. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Out Lambeau to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. But I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the draw, here's Bernard. DJ Hayden, the corner, in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And Tate's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Passing, it's Dalton. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Dalton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes, it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Andy Dalton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Deferring to Armstead on the draw. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone and into the offensive backfield. He's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. Has bred this big defensive tackle.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Here's Logan Cook now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Play action here with Dalton. He's got his man. This is Tate. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Dalton gives to Bernard. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From the 36, Dalton, his throw incomplete. It was Quincy Williams with a tight coverage there.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. He completes it to Tate. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Taking it in from a yard out. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And he knocks it through. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Ready? 50, play.
Throwing on first down is Minshew. He's got the hook up with Conley. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun is Minshew. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try to throw for it with Minshew. Into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swain. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 22-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 39. The kick by Lambeau is good. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. So a little late drama in the first half as that kick will give them the lead in the intermission.
Isn't this fun the way that this is unfolding? You're exactly right. The late drama, 3 points go up on
field goal back out. Lambeau to kick this one off. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And Dalton to throw. Going deep for Eifert. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check the outs, check the outs, check the outs.
They'll run it here with Bernard. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Caught right side, Tate. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Bernard, and he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Here's Dalton. And Eifert has it. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati first.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Bernard. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
Yeah, let's get set lunch.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. On the crossing route, complete. It's Tate. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Mixon with a first down carry. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. To throw here, Dalton. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Josh Allen in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Now a carry for Bernard. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Bullock will put this one through. And with that, they move ahead by a point here in this 3rd quarter. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. After the field goal, now it's Bullock to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Throwing on 2nd down now, Minshew. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Come on, set. 18 Gator.
Get the ball.
Fournette, a first down carry. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
On second and inches, Minshew. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 34-yard line. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. On the draw, this is Fournette. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting, pick a play you think they would run here, and just load up for it and see what happens.
Ready up.
Watch 57.
Oh, you got deep? You got tight left, tight left.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal?
You ain't doing nothing today.
Looking to throw it, Minshew. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Well, that'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on 1st down, but unable to do much from there. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown. Offensively, are you saying, let's go for this, let's try to get it in the end zone?
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different?
True.
You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
And Lambeau will put this one through. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Dalton got his man. It's Eifert. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know it's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there.
Right there, 56.
Come on. You better bring
On first down, Bernard. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 44, Dalton got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. From midfield here, Dalton. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
56, check 56. Come on, baby, come on, let's go.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And now it's 2nd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 26.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Andy Dalton now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Bernard. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. Bullock's kick is good. And with that, they move ahead by a point here in this 3rd quarter. Another drive bogs down, but for the 4th time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so that's a good thing. And they've needed every one of these field goals, but it has to feel good to them to know that confidence is there. If we do bog down, they'll give us 3 points.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
36.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Minshew on 1st and 10. They'll get that to Fournette, complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Minshew sets to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins. Young quarterback, gotta learn. Need to get rid of the football.
Because when you don't get rid of the ball, they accumulate more sacks. But you're exactly right. Internal clock has to go off. Either get rid of it or start to take off and go.
Jaguars on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 16. Now Minshew. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Ready? 10-2 stop.
Check.
Right. Get.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Keelan Cole, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The open man is Westbrook. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. Here it's 3rd and 3. And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
Offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down.
Let's get off the go.
Minshew throwing on 3rd down. Caught here by Conley. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Again, Minshew looking to throw. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. It'll be Minshew again. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a 1st down. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. From the gun, Minshew to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal.
Ready, go.
Here's Minshew. Open is Swain, the tight end. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. From 13 yards out. And once again, the Jaguars are back out in front. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the fourth quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the fourth quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come.
Watch his threat. Watch his step.
Out of the gun is Minshew. He's got the hookup with Conley. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker try to.
And nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, 75 yards. And the Bengals are once again going to retake the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. Dalton. Flushed out right. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing on first down is Minshew. Into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swain. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Let him know, let him know. Mike's fighting.
Fournette running out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Go now. 15 line. 15 line.
57 Mike.
On 2nd and 12, Minshew. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it 1 more time, so make sure you get in shape.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time, and now it's 3rd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
To throw on 3rd down, Dalton. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Taken from just outside the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now.
On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. That one complete. He finds Shark. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down.
Complete to DJ Shark. A gain of 18 on the play. First down, Jaguars.
Set up. 70, Indy.
Minshew, 1st and 10. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw it, Minshew. And finding Keelan Cole. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Back to throw here. That's going to be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
On 2nd and goal, Minshew to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
They come out here in the eye. They've been stopped twice at the 1. Can they finally break through on 3rd and goal? Here's Fournette. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Now, the field goal ties it, but you're down here knocking on the door. What are you doing?
Did you hear the way you just said that?
Kind of.
Yeah.
With hesitance?
Yes, that means you don't want to kick the field goal, and I don't think they do either. They need to go ahead and get these points now and get an advantage and not tie it up. It'll feel like a big disappointment if they just kick the field goal right here.
The kick by Lambeau is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So it's a drive that ends in 3, and I know that line sounds familiar. It's because I've said it 7 times now, and that leaves him 1 short of the NFL record of 8 field goals in 1 game.
It has been a lot of settling for 3, but I tell you what, it's nice to know that you have someone this reliable to turn to.
Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
56.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And that is incomplete. The defense did their job. 4th quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it, because the offense has been yelling at them from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind. Here's Kevin Huber now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
I got you.
On 2nd down, Minshew. The Conley's got it over the middle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we go again. Ready.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. Throw left side to his tight end, Swain. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Minshew. He'll get that to DeValve, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Drake Kirkpatrick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
And out now, here come the Bengals. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. They'll run again with Bernard. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Here's Kevin Huber now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing on 2nd down now, Minshew. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
First down, Jacksonville.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Minshew sets to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Come on, set. 70, Indy. Now.
They'll drop to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The running back, Leonard Fournette, his intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here? Or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
To throw again on 2nd down. Minshew. A short one there, caught by Swaim. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Complete to Jeff Swain. 2-yard gain on the play. And it's third down.
On the ball, come on.
What tight end? 3 down. Hey, check.
And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime after this timeout. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Now a first throw here in overtime. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Logan Cook now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. It'll be a 48-yard punt, 5 there on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over. Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off? Now part 1 is done, now part 2. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Again, it's Mixon. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Hot, PAT!
They're going to need some therapy after this.
On second down, Mixon, he's still fighting forward. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
Time now for Dalton's turn here in the extra session. He's got his man, Boyd. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
I got you, son. I got you, son.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
On second down now, Bernard. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Well, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. But he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll give it to Mixon. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Brandon, I'd go ahead and kick it right now. I know it's only 2nd down, but I kick it and give myself a little margin for error here.
Don't wait for 3rd. Have the extra down just in case.
If something goes wrong, messed up snap, anything like that, you fall on it, guess what? It's 3rd down. You still have the ball. You still have a chance to kick it.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. And now to the air, Dalton. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. All right, well, they didn't kick it on 2nd down, now 3rd and goal. You have to kick it here.
Absolutely have to kick it because if you get a bad snap, you fall on it, you got a chance to kick it again on 4th down. Let's say it gets blocked and it's behind the line of scrimmage. You fall on it, you get another chance at it. Give yourself that option. Give yourself that opening.
Dalton on 3rd and goal. And it's caught. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. we got to see, and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati.